Let me see here. Where am I? I've already clicked the settings? Probably. Oh yeah, cool. Success. Where's me? Where's me chat? Where's me chat? That's actually. Whoa. Let's double check. This is working right. Where did I put he? I'll be on the floor in a second. Uh, I I plugged my headphones in to check a thing and then just like instinctively turned off my audio interface, which was very silly. Anyways, I don't need these on. It's all clearly working. So that's good. Okay. I made it to the floor. And I'm just hanging out here. Here we are on the floor of my apartment. The floor gang has returned. I need to zoom in on a thing. Actually, I wonder if it's probably easier. This is kind of meta. But what's the lazier answer instead of me like looking up to the screen to read the chat is I think I can probably I'm just gonna connect to the chat as a viewer and then watch it on my phone. What if I could do that and then just read the chat from there? Ha, I can, it works. What a dumb hack. Oh boy. Well, yeah, so I'm just hanging out. I am having one of those days where I I did stuff in the morning and then I could start like a new project, but 2 p.m. rolls around and some days you're just like I don't want to start a new project at 2 p.m. I only have like a couple hours or a few hours to work on it. So I'm just hanging out instead. Um and reading some chat here and trying to figure this out. I guess I can just turn that down. That probably works, right? Who knows? Anyways, hello to everyone. Hey to all the people. This is not normally the time I stream, but this is just the way it is today. There's no real goal for this stream. I'm just kind of, hanging out, as I say. So if you have any questions, anything at all, really, there is one thing I want to show y'all. Let me fetch it here. I got this little guy in the mail today, which is pretty cool. 100K. I finally got my silver play button. This is like 10 months after I passed 100,000, but they refused me the first time. What's supposed to happen is you're supposed to get like a notification once you ding 100,000, and I never did. And I remember I asked YouTube, like I messaged them, and they're like, "Your channel is not eligible at this time." And they didn't say why. It was just like an automated response. But I'm pretty sure the reason was all the dubs. because it's just a copyright nightmare with all those. So when I released the well and I started doing this newer content, I messaged them again, and they're like, "Your channel is due for an awards review," and and then it worked out totally fine this time. So they sent it to me. It arrived today, and it's pretty cool. It's I've mentioned this before. There are so few aspects of me being on YouTube have reached out into my physical day-to-day life, because it's all just like digital and ephemeral. But this did. So this is like one rare thing. It's like, oh, a physical construct that shows some of my success. And we're gonna put it on the chair here. Yeah, looking good. Um, anyways, let's. I wanna go through a couple of these questions. Let me see here. From David Liu, you got cheese? No, I have zero cheese in my house, in my home. I don't need this out here anymore. Zero cheese in my home. Jiggity Jack asks, Finn, do you have any odd collections? Um, do I have any odd collections? I don't think so, honestly. And I mean, even I'd say musical instruments, but honestly, I have far fewer instruments than, some of the major instrumentophiles have, where they'll have like walls of guitars. I have a rack of them. I have 5 guitars slash guitar based instruments, those string instruments, acoustic bass, a banjo, an electric bass, an acoustic guitar, and an electric guitar. But I don't really have like hoarders level of instruments. No, I don't think I really have any wacky collections. Um, Thanks everyone on all the congratulations. Appreciate it. You got some old man socks. Yeah, they're really comfy. These are just big wool socks. And I know, maybe it's just fall kicking in, but suddenly it was cold enough to justify wearing socks, but it's still warm enough to be in like a t-shirt and shorts. So I've never cared about my my fashion. I have fashion ideas, and they just never come to fruition. I just accept I'm gonna look weird. Um, where are we here? Yeah, it is nice to have something to represent my achievements. Thank you, Kevin. Right, exactly. I don't really have any awards. Um, so this feels earned. It feels good. Little Monster Gaming, I really enjoyed the well. Do you have any theater background to hit those musical beats? I do a little bit. In high school, in grade 10, I was in my high school's production of Bye Bye Birdie. I was in the chorus. And then, oh, that might have been in grade 11. And then I volunteered in theater outside of school. And I was a stagehand for Beauty and the Beast. And then I was an assistant stage manager for My Fair Lady. And then I played a lead role. I was Daddy Warbucks in grade 12 in Annie. So I have a bit of theater background. I don't consider myself, despite having been involved in 4 musicals, I don't really consider myself a theater kid. They're a certain breed, and I was never quite in that world. I was never, both feet full in on the theater thing. So, I look at people like Jacob Sutherland, um, who I very much consider a theater kid. Um, but I don't quite consider myself that. But I do have some theater background, certainly. Are those the extra grippy socks? No, they're just wool and they're comfy. You slide around real well on them. Kevin asks, do you have any particular favorite video game music that you like to listen to or play? So much, Kevin. I would say soundtracks are the thing I most listen to. Um, Especially so I like for my D&D campaign that I run, I've got soundtracks, for environments and for cities and theme suites for characters that are basically all built up out of video game soundtracks and film soundtracks. Um, but that was only part of the question. Any particular favorite music? Right now, Spiritfarer, that indie game from Hello Games. I don't remember the studio. But Max LL made the soundtrack, and it's beautiful, and it's full of a sort of Studio Ghibli level of fantasy and wonder. It's just awesome. It's really great. Callie asks, "Do you have any tips for getting started composing an instrumental?" Yeah, it's a different beast than writing something with lyrics. Certainly. Um, I've done my fair share of both. Um, they start, yeah, you know what? They start in different ways. They can start in different ways. For starting an instrumental, I would say have some kind of thing to grip to. So don't go in totally blank. Like you have this one chord progression. That's like I've got to live. I've got to live in this. I have to make this progression work. Or um, I have to. I have a melody in mind, a hook or something, and then build around that. But like have something to go in on. Um, and then I mean the way I've always done it is once I have that, it starts to become more like other music, and I start to um, improvise around the idea and try and explore it, see where it develops. This is all really vague, I know. There's no concrete way to just write stuff because people write music in different ways. Um, but I would say keep in mind that if you're used to writing music with vocals and you're trying to write an instrumental for the first time, keep in mind that the role that vocals play largely still needs to be filled. You can't just get rid of the melody and have a piece make sense. Um, and there are so many great instruments that can take melodies. Basically, every single instrument can take melodies depending on context. So, um, just keep that in mind. It was real bad rambling advice, but I hope it helps. Finn, can you get another plant? I have my chives outside that are in actual ground. I think that's where I'm sticking for now, unless my mom gives me something. Master Farr asks, "Have you ever done a one-man band outfit, like the full suit with the kick drum on the back and the whole like 20 instruments attached to you?" No, but those look like a lot of fun. That would be a fun thing to make. But I gotta tweak this here. It's not against the wall. Now it is. There we go. All right, let me see. Averly, school doesn't start tomorrow, so not much to do. Just chill here and play Tetris on my computer. That's what's up. What are my fashion ideas? I like a lot of the fashion that Jacob Collier does. So these big, colorful, billowy pants and outfits, just like it's like tie dye, but a little more esoteric. Um, and sort of flowing colors and like silks that go all around. I love that stuff. But I've never loved it to the point like I've been poor all my adult life, so I've never loved that stuff to the point of like I'm gonna spend $90 on these designer pants or these weird pants that I want. If I find them at a thrift store, then I'll get them. But I haven't really found most of the things for my more outlandish fashion ideas I have yet to find at thrift stores. Tony McCourt asks, any instruments that you want to learn but just really haven't gotten around to trying? Cello. I just don't have access to a cello. Someday. I wish I were Canadian so I could say about with 35% oot. About, about, about. It is one of those ones. When anyone speaks, you don't really perceive the accent that you have. So the few key tell words for Canadian accent about is apparently one. I still don't hear it, which is such a funny brain thing because I know that other people do. Nice floor, nice shade, nice light reflection. 9 out of 10. Well, thank you. This isn't really perfect framing, but I literally just pointed my camera downwards from how it usually is. There was not a lot of thought has gone into this stream. Favorite musical. I've been asked this before, and I feel like I just need to see more musicals. I enjoy musicals, and I just haven't seen very many. I really I really enjoyed Beauty and the Beast as a stage musical. When I was the stage manager for it, or I was a stagehand for that. Even though it's been done so much, even though it's kind of a cliche, it's when it's done right, it was just powerful. Those simple moments that we think are unsubtle it works because they are unsubtle. It's just a simple message but beautifully done if done right. Although I did see My Fair Lady, sorry, I saw Mary Poppins on Broadway, and that blew my mind. Like, just the stage effects alone were outrageous. It was very cool. So yeah, I see I'm apparently getting buffering for whatever reason. I don't know. It is what it is. Bear with me. D&D is great. Got a fave character you play or NPC you like? It's like so many over the years. I've been a DM for 5 or 6 years now, and they've come up with so many. The most absurd one I ever came up with has to be Richard Kick Them, or as he is more commonly known, Dick Kickem. And Dick Kickem is a skeleton who dances like this. And he just runs around kicking people in the dick. He's a skeleton cowboy. Oh, he's what a riot. He's got that southern voice. Name's Richard Kickem. Most folks know me as Dick Kickem. And he just like every other sentence is innuendo. I made him as this one-off NPC for an absurdist adventure, and then I played him in my friend's very short goofy campaign, and he's an absolute riot. JD Jacka asks, "How's the D&D campaign coming along?" The new one is great. So my first 3 campaigns I ran in the same world, all one after the other. It was like a trilogy that took 5 years, and I built a new world. I pecked away. I built a new world over a year and a half, and I've started running a new campaign in that world, and it's a thrill. It's a total delight. We just finished the 5th session yesterday. Hey Finn, remember when you did a stripped version of Spirit of Adventure? Think you're ever going to do that again with your other songs? I love how it sounds. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would do my YouTube career consists often of me doing weird esoteric things that I want to do balanced with what I know people want to see. Although recently, since I stopped making dubs, it's now just like all a mess. Who knows? Um, if people swarmed to my originals and wanted more and more and more of them, then I would be doing stripped songs for most of them. As it is now, I have to pick and choose because those aren't, they're not They're pretty unpopular generally. Like my core audience really, you guys get it. You like the originals, and I love delivering them. But not everyone wants to see that, so I can't just do tons of those. But I do like making them. Certain songs work really well for them. Oh man, so I can attest Spiritfarer has a slapping soundtrack. The Seals theme gets me grooving every time. That's maybe my least favorite piece of music from the soundtrack. When you're traveling by the seal, I'm always just like, go, go, get it. Just go to the. I don't want to hear the circus anymore. It's not even a bad track. I think I just overheard it because I fast traveled so often. Um, Man, I'm like 10 minutes behind in the comments now. Well, whatever. That's just the way these things go. I prefer not to rush. I'll get to everyone's eventually until I decide to stop streaming, you know? Archibald, remember when you made that haha funny Brian seeing thing song? Absolutely not. I have no idea what you're talking about. Kevin L, have you heard of the YouTube channel Silva Gunner? If so, what do you think about it? I have heard of Silva Gunner. Shoot, I think I talked to him once. I did. Oh, this goes back a couple years. He messaged me, or they messaged me. It was about some kind of project, and I ended up not doing it. It's a very bizarre joint project. I don't remember the details. Um, Talented remixer. I mean, that's basically my thoughts. I barely know them. I don't really watch the channel, but I have seen a few videos, and they're very talented at remixing and shaking up audio. What instrument do I not know how to play? Tons of them. There's so many instruments in the world. Finn being poor is my favorite addition to the lore. Yeah, well, that's the way it is. Soak it up. Oh, Felix, you got the award. Yes, I did. Thank you. You got yours before me, but now I join you, my friend. We got it. We did it. Do I watch BBC's Red Dwarf? No. I think I've heard of it, but I have not seen it. Finn on the floor. Take my money. Well, I I have no way to follow up that generous super chat in a way that isn't very sexual. So I'll just say thank you. I like how the award gets the chair and Finn gets the floor. Yeah, yeah. What's Dick Kickham's attack bonus on the kick? Oh, it was. So it was like it's this absurd one-off character. So I made him have like plus 35 to hit. It was so silly. As a player character, his attack bonus was much less. Here's a great question. Have you already begun work on another album or EP, or are you taking a bit of a break? Yeah, I am taking a bit of a break. Not in the sense that I'm just refusing to make new music, but that um I'm continually writing songs. I have song ideas, but oh no, I lost the chat somewhere. Oh wait, there it is. Um, I'm continually making music, but I haven't been like recording and producing new originals unless you count all of the silly songs and the stuff I'm making as regular content for the channel. Um, so that's all. You know, those are originals. They're just not serious music. You know, it's comedy stuff. It's joke music. So I have even a vague concept of what I would do for my next full length album. I have this idea, but I'm obviously not going to tell you about it. That's not my style. Do I remember Angry Grandma? No. Is she like an ancient piece of internet lore? Oh, Silva Gunner is a team of people. Whoa. Okay. That makes sense. So it would be one of the team members that I spoke to that one time. Hmm. What made you into music? Starlight and Unicorn Dreams. Hey, Aaron Keogh, what's your favorite Finn-based pun? Probably phenomenal. It just flows really nicely. Oh, the one. So this is about the Brian Family Guy. That comment. It was the one called "You Got a Lot to See." Yes. Yeah, I remember making that. I remember. I still hate how I filmed it. I don't know what I did with the settings or with my lights, but it's so warm. It's just like everything is bright orange. But the song itself is I was happy with. What are my thoughts on turtles? I like turtles. What is my opinion of the spear axe combination? I'm not going into this. We've had our dual weapons talk before. Hello, Finn from MXR Kazuku Edits. Finally, nice to talk to you. Likewise. What a delight. Matthew Irwin, can we hit 1 billion likes? Nope. No, we cannot. In my dreams. Like this comment is just the well too. I probably wouldn't. Oh no. I probably wouldn't do the well too. If I'm gonna do another musical, it would be something totally different. Brand new plot, brand new characters, and probably brand new collaborators. Like if I brought Jacob Sully and Marshall back, or even Kestrel, I would do them in cameo roles, but I wouldn't make them the main characters again. I do remember Ren and Stimpy, but I didn't watch a lot of it. I think that was I think even as a kid, that was the style was like too gratuitous for me, and it was like too edgy. It's too edgy for me. Mayo, hey Finn, smiley face. Glad to see the new floor is hanging out onable. It sure is. How is the first day of autumn treating you? Well, that is very nice for you to ask. Thank you. It's going pretty well. I got my plaque today, so that's nice. My oven clock also broke this morning, which is less nice, but not the end of the world. The oven still works. And my ballin' landlord just like showed up. I was like, hey, so this went out. He's like, I'm showing up in a couple hours. We'll take a look. He's a cool dude. And so he's in he took some pictures and is getting to the bottom of it. Great guy. But I'm having a fine first day of autumn. What I'm gonna do later today is just go for a lovely walk through the big park by the lake near my house and just breathe in the autumn air. It's gonna look so good when the leaves start changing color. I'm excited for that. Despite my eternal love of summer. I hope your first day of autumn is also treating you very well. Have I heard of Angry Grandpa? No, if I haven't heard of Angry Grandma, I also have not heard of Angry Grandpa. Ooh, important from Aaron Keogh. How do you rate this floor in comparison to your last floor? Now, this is a good question because veterans of the channel will know that whenever I've done an impromptu stream where I'm just doing Q&A or something like that, they've always been hanging out on the floor. I don't remember why I did it the first time, but it's now a tradition. I have to admit, pros and cons. So my old place was wall to wall carpet because it was a basement, which is comfier to sit on than hardwood. Well, there's no way to get around that. However, the relative coziness of this room has allowed me to like I moved the couch out a little bit and it's still resting on the wall, so I actually have something to like sit back against. And before I didn't, I was just doing the like the hands thing, which doesn't always work out. So it's nice to have a backrest. Pros and cons. Your face is phenomenal. Aw, thanks. And here's another great question from Kiko. What's your goal with YouTube? Monetary or just have fun? And I've been asking myself that a lot lately. I certainly asked it to myself over these like the 2 months that I took a break. Um, and routinely now, as I experiment with this new content, like bringing the silly songs back and doing covers maybe occasionally, doing, reacting to memes in a different way. So like the OnlyFans song and balls in my jaw, balls in your jaw. And I'm about to start one for I slammed my penis in the car door. I'm gonna do something with that. So as I try these new things, it is a question I ask myself. It's like, is my goal monetary or just have fun? Monetarily speaking, I want to be a full-time musician, and I feel very fortunate that I am one. Um, and a large part of my effort to go, towards that goal goes into YouTube. Like this is the main thing I do. I also do commissions and other little projects, which I enjoy very much, and they also provide income. And I have like, Patreon and merchandise and all this stuff, and royalties. Which so like being an internet personality, being on YouTube, like being in the sphere. I love that. I have so much fun with it. It's such an immediate way to connect with people and to make an impact. So I want to do that, and I want to be able to earn enough from that to live. But that doesn't necessarily just mean YouTube. So I don't know. What is my goal with YouTube? Monetary fun? I mean, both, ideally. Um, I stopped doing dubs because it stopped being fun. Um, but at the same time, those brought in income. So it's like I'm constantly having to ask these questions to myself because I'm not at a point, and I've never been at a point in internet fame where I can really do whatever I want if I want to be able to make a living doing it. I've never gotten to that point. Maybe one day I will. For now, I'm trying to do both. That's the answer. Hey, Sally. The well too. I'm in, which is not how Sally's voice sounds whatsoever. I, but now I kind of wish he sounded like a generic action hero. Automatones. Fourth cover. I forget what the fourth cover album was called, but I would read that. Hold on, I can probably find this. Let's go to Sully's Spotify, and I can do some promos in alternate Sully's voice. The Real Sully G. Automatoons Volumes 1 through 4 now on sale. Oh, it feels very weird. It's such a Chad voice. Um, well, maybe someday that will be your voice, Sully. What a weird day that will be. Okay, I gotta find, where was I here? I am evil, clench your butt cheeks. It's one of the best lines in the well. Thank you. Skip the well 2, go straight to the well 3. The well 10. K-Mac collab would be too much to ask from the universe. Man, I like K-Mac. I've never spoken to him, but just a really funny guy. I would love to do something with K-Mac. Um, I'm quite certain he does not know I exist. But if I ever get an idea that I think he'd be good for, then I would definitely reach out. Although I mean he hasn't been uploading too much lately. I know he's been on some kind of break and doing his own music. But that'd be a lot of fun. So Scottish. I can't believe the entire population of Roanoke is in a chair. What a very specific geographical comment. Congrats on the 111K Finn and also the award, I guess. Thank you, Trackpad Timmy. Also glad to see the look at this wolf is still a part of your wall holstery. Yeah, still up there. The wolf. It's only the best ones here in the new space. Most of the other ones are boxed upstairs, and I keep meaning to take them to the thrift store to donate, and I haven't done it yet. Have I ever committed a crime? Honestly, not that I can think of. I was accused of committing a crime. Oh, sorry, I was accused like way back on that live stream a year or a year and a half ago, where I got accused of I don't even remember what it was. It was doing something nefarious in New Orleans, a place I have never been, and it ended up just being this complex like framing job against this journalist whose account was faked and who was levying the allegations against me. It was a really weird and stressful thing. However, in high school, in grade 12, towards the end of the year, someone pranked the high school by releasing stink bombs during the lunch period that I had gone home for, as my house then was pretty close to the high school. And I came back to school for fifth period, and I got called into the principal's office, and the principal and a few teachers were there. And I could smell the stink bombs when I came in, so clearly something was up. But they called me in, like as soon as I was seen, like one of the teachers like went and said, "Hey, hey, hey, come here, come here." So they called me in, and I'm like, "What's going on?" I'm getting called in, and there are stink bombs going off, and like, "Did you do this?" Like, what? And I just had not done it, but because I had coincidentally kind of disappeared at the moment the stink bombs had gone off, a rumor had started going around the high school that I had unleashed them as a senior prank, despite it being wildly out of character for me. And the teachers and the principal believed me too. They were like, "Okay, we had to be sure. We didn't really believe it was you, but we had to ask." Have I ever gone to jail? No. Hey, Low Reloaded, thank you for the donation. Hey, buddy, love your channel. Glad you're doing well. Listen to your stuff while I work off. And smiley face. Oh, well, that's very sweet. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. And from Tis Me, Matthew, here's a money. I'll take that money with thanks. Thank you very much. Finn is a nefarious criminal. Yeah, right. Finn is a trickster god, king of stink. Also not true. But that is what my high school briefly believed. It was I remember feeling it was so weird to have a rumor spread about you. Like what a bizarre thing to have happen, you know? If you've never been at the center of a rumor, then I can't really say how weird it is, but it does feel very bizarre. Well, okay, so my lunch periods in high school were only 25 minutes. Well, see, the way my high school worked was we had 5 periods in the day, and each was an hour and a half or something. So I had one period off, and that's the one I went home on. Okay, I keep clicking out of this because I'm a goof. Here we go. Finn did those stink bombs in New Orleans. 'Twas I was the rascal. From Life.Wave, do you have any interesting YouTube tales to tell? Well, I wish I had more. I hope to get some more. When things start opening up, um, so I can say this at least. There is a secret Discord, uh, secret, or really, it's just a private Discord. And Kestrel Tape started it, which is awesome, and I thank him for it. Where there are a bunch of us YouTube musicians in that private Discord, and we chat and hang out, and we play games with each other. Not even streaming, just to kick it. Um, so we have like a secret little community going on with our own inside jokes and everything. And so there are lots of like fun little inside jokes from there that won't make sense, and I shan't reveal them. I'm bound to secrecy. But I really hope to get some fun YouTube tales as things start to open up more. Because I really want to I want to get out. I want to, go to conventions. I want to meet up with people, with other YouTubers, and with fans of the channel. I want to get out and do stuff. So I'm hopeful that some shenanigans will occur when that starts to happen. But no, I don't. Not really. I mean, I've done some fun streams with people, but they're no like great tales or anything. What's my least favorite commercial? I haven't seen a commercial in so long because I just like watch YouTube and don't have yeah, I haven't seen a commercial in a long time. Who can say? I love Japanese commercials though. Those are always fun. Do I have an ocarina? Asks a guy Capone. I got one yesterday. Cool. No, I don't. They look fun. Will you ever show us your true form? Nah. Nah. No, 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 no. Yeah, that Discord that I briefly leaked on stream, but is now we have airtight security. Have I been able to get vaccinated yet? Yeah, yeah. I've got both vaccinations. I got double Moderna, man down Moderna, and the first one was in June, and then the second one was at the end. Oh no, the first one was the end of June. Second one was at the end of July, and it's a relief to get them. You feel more invincible. You're not really invincible. You can still get it, but I do feel a lot better. Um, rather than having no defense besides a mask. From Philip, thank you for the donation. Do you plan to summon another demon now that you are in a new house? So actually, maybe that brings up an interesting question. I have been, in the video ideas that I, always toss around, go out and think up, cook around, cook up. I have, there are a few ideas that are sequels to silly songs from years past. So I have an idea for one, a sequel to Prawn Dreams, for example. And there could very much be a sequel to Things in My House. We shall see. Congrats on over 12 subscribers. I did it. Thanks, peasants. How's the clone storage in the new place? Worse. I just got they're stuffed out of every nook and cranny. It's just exploding with clones here. I have yet to do a real like choir video again, where there are 30 or 40 fins on screen. But once that happens, then the clones will be out of the bag. I think it's going to be hard to keep them in after that point. Now I want to do a choir one. I got to find the right thing. Got to find the right meme or the right silly song idea. How is moving them, the clones? Very easy. They move themselves. They have legs and everything. It's awesome. Question: have you ever tried making a fandom related song? So I've thought about this. Especially in relation to Charlie, to CG5. Um, with his Five Nights at Freddy songs and the other stuff, like that's a lot of his bread and butter. And he does it super well. I've grown continually impressed with him, both from audio production, video production, and songwriting, all of it. And it's super cool to see him really blow up. Um, and so I've thought about doing stuff in that vein where it's like, here's a song um, about Fortnite or Skyrim or Minecraft. Maybe. I feel like they would end up being more like a silly song. Like I'd probably need to go into it with a joke in mind, some kind of punchline, um, rather than Charlie makes more serious efforts. They're like just a traditional full song. I don't know. Maybe I'd try it. Honestly, at this point in the channel, nothing's off the table. I'm uh I'm trying to I'm always trying to figure out new stuff. Why is there a couch watching the drum set though? Well, that's just the way things end up fitting in here. What about the Sweater of Chaos song? A nice sweater. Well, it did already get an actual physical merchandise sweater, which is great. I even have it. Go buy it's probably in the merch shelf of this live stream as it occurs to me. Buy a nice sweater from the Phantom K merch shop. I don't know, maybe. My friend Justin, who I filmed that with, has moved out to the West Coast, so that would be tricky to do. But we might do it. Like we're gonna. I'm planning to go out there, and he has plans to come here. So we might film it on one of those occasions if I get the right idea for it. Shaggy Rogers, I'm still constantly watching your Write Me a Song vids. Those are awesome. I'm so glad. I'm glad you enjoy them. Yeah, the Prawn Dream sequel. Oh no, another whale shark. No, I don't have the premises on my computer somewhere, but it was like, um, it begins with me in the prom shark. Um, shoot, who was that figure who lived inside a whale? Gosh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Who was swallowed by a whale and lived in it for 40 years or something. I don't remember. Someone will know. Where's the Sweater of Chaos been? I haven't worn it in a while because it's been summer, but you can expect it to start getting worn in the fall. I love your recent videos. The Perfect Girl song was hilarious. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy them. Really, I am, because I know that doing anything that isn't a dub is not what many people have. Jonah, that's who it is. Jonah and the Whale. Thank you. I know that doing anything that isn't a dub is risky. So I'm glad you enjoy it. Hey, fan, happy to be able to say thanks for everything and your talent, says Dean 162. I was just listening to your Robo Copyright remix featuring Dan Bull. Thanks for making my day better. Greetings from Germany. Ah, well, you're very welcome, Dean. Do I LARP? I have never LARPed, despite all my years in D&D, I do play in a role play a Neverwinter Nights server, Aerolith, which is just so much fun. But I've never LARPed. I'm getting some Bo Burnham inside vibes with this setup, minus the existential doom. I hope you're doing well though. I am. Yeah. I mean, this setup is it's like my cozy music space, but full of light and life, and I'm very happily not suffering from depression. So it's great. It's just I've got this chamber. Inside was great though. It was it was a ride. It was an experience to watch that. I watched it once all the way through, and really took it all in. I haven't watched it again, but I think I will at some point. from P Peasants. What kinds of online media are you currently consuming? Anything that you've just been doing for your own enjoyment? So in new material. I have been I don't know. I'm not the target demo, and I don't. It's there's no reasonable reason why a man in his late 20s should get so into it. But um, I got super into the Owl House. That's a great show. I am all invested in Luz and Ida and everyone, and I can't wait for the second half of the second season to come out. Um, it's just a very good show. It's really well constructed. It's got all the fantasy I love. I'm I'm so invested in it. Besides that, Mike Tyson Mysteries can't be beat. It's one of the funniest shows to ever exist. What game genres am I into? Um, I mean, RPGs are my traditional big time sink. You know, hundreds of hours into Skyrim, stuff like that. But I enjoy a good RTS. I really like turn-based combat as well, if it's done right. Like the Heroes, Might and Magic 3, even 4 and 5, just terrific, terrific games. Adventure Time, I think I've watched most of the episodes. Have I ever watched Centaur World? No. But the music is amazing. That's all the incentive I need to check it out. Ooh, here's a good question. My question is from Dean 162. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? And that is a great question. I think in I think my perfect world vision of where I'll be in 10 years is unlikely to be the actual case. But in my perfect world, even now there are a few different directions I can go career wise. But sort of, I think in my perfect world, 10 years from now, I am I'm I'm still engaged in the online sphere in some way, like whether that's as a YouTuber or a streamer. Um, because I don't think streaming, like this stuff is all very new and it's hard to count on it in ways and it has not a lot of historical precedent. But I don't think it's going anywhere. All of the science, all of the stats really just indicate growth. Um, so I'd like to be doing that. I think it's less likely, but possible. I'll take the route of a more traditional musician, um, and really just start doing, tour album, tour album, tour album. Either of those futures, I would love. I would love, love, love. As well as the third future of me going back to my original music career of um, composing soundtracks for films and games. I loved that too. I all of those I love so much. And in 10 years I hope I'm doing one of them. And maybe I'm not any wealthier, maybe I haven't like moved up in the world per se, but I think so long as I'm doing music, I am going to be happy and having an impact on people in a positive way. Even if my they say there's so much pressure for growth in the online world and in entertainment, you're sort of expected to continue to bloom because as soon as you're not blooming, then everyone, then all interest is gone on you, onto the next big thing. But I think there's room for just because you're not growing at a titanic rate doesn't mean it's not a viable thing to be doing. So I'm hope regardless of commercial success, I hope that I'm still making music. I'm connecting with, people like you and um, an audience in a wider sense. I'm going to be trying to do that. Oh yeah, I have my Bible stories mixed up. Noah was 40 years. Jonah was in it for the whale for 3 days, 3 nights. Can't believe Finn is collabing with Jonah Hill. That'd be weird. I have no idea what we'd even do together. So we've established that you beat up a bunch of children in New Orleans, but have you beat up any more children in other parts of the world? Well, I punched a kid in Greenland and I kicked kids in Scotland. I went to Korea and I punched a baby in the mouth. I'm like Russell Crowe fighting around the world, except I just fight kids. Fighting kids around the world. That's the FinMK guarantee. Irene asks, Finn, what are you doing down there? Well, Irene, I'm hanging out on the floor. What would I write on my gravestone? Here lies. What would I write on my gravestone? This grave sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. And that's it. It wouldn't even have my name. It would just have the ad read. What's my favorite instrument to play besides piano? It tends to switch up. I've had long phases where I focus on a particular instrument by, it feels like by happenstance or by magic because I don't actively choose it. For the first, initially that was drums, and then it was bass, and now guitar. Now I'm really guitar. I'll just plug in my electric into Cubase, and then just start playing music and riffing around on top and trying to pick up new chords and just explore it more. I'm having lots of fun with guitar right now, particularly electric guitar. Who is my favorite subscriber? My dad. I did music for gaming? Yep. I actually still have my website up. I still maintain it, www.finmk.com, which is now not really active. So I haven't updated it in a few years, but it does have an archive and a CV with all of the work I did as a composer and I think as a voice actor too, because I also did voice acting. So you can go have a look there if you're curious. Who is my favorite family member? Whichever one is listening to this stream right now. Finn is canonically the size of a child if he can fight children in any official matches. Therefore, Finn is a tiny streamer. I mean, I guess I can't argue with the logic. What a goof. It wouldn't even have the code to join your clan on Raid Shadow Legends? Nope. So actually, wow, I made it to the top of the chat. Amazing. That normally doesn't happen. So I do want to say, at least feel free to ask more questions and I'll get to them. But I do want to, I've floated around. Let me explain this. I want to just pitch an idea off y'all since you're here. I have floated around the idea of doing more streams, and I've talked to a few people and I've asked about it on Late Night Piano. And I think what I want to do is pesto pasta, giving me pesto burps. I'm trying to shield all of you from the worst of it. What I want to do is keep the Late Night Piano. This will be every Friday evening. But the idea that I really liked, I don't remember who suggested it, but it was that late night piano is kind of the wrap up of the week. You know, it's our cool down once we've made it through a week. So it would be nice to have. The suggestion was it'd be nice to have sort of this a hype up, the opposite kind of atmosphere, a hype up stream, something light and fun and exciting, um, to get the week going on Mondays. And I think that's a great idea. So I can't. I'm not gonna promise. I don't have. I just don't have the details yet. But I am gonna try and start a regular stream on Mondays as well, like a Monday late afternoon, like an after school kind of thing, or maybe like early evening. Um, which would be stuff more like hang out on the floor, singing requests, doing uh, those improv games on the piano that we used to do. We haven't done this in a long time. That they're a lot of fun, and some real goofy shenanigans came out of them. And sort of each week it'd be something different, something new and wacky and fun, or just like a bunch of different possibilities. So it could be the improv games, or it could just be a Q&A, or it could be singing requests, stuff like that. I have a few ideas, and once I have the details worked out, then I'm gonna try that out. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up and say that if you are on my Discord, or really, I mean, like anywhere you can contact me. Um, even like my about page, about, about, about. I think you can. You can send me an email there if you prove you're not a robot or something. I don't remember how it's set up. But if you have any ideas for streams you want to see me do, then let me know. All right. Where are we here? Where are we here? I'm gonna answer a few more questions, or like, well, I'll try and get through the rest of these, and then I'll cop out like a coward. Fighting children stream, probably not gonna happen. Probably illegal. Finn versus Daniel Thrasher boxing match. Uh, I'm probably not gonna fight people on streams. This is probably the wrong road to go down. Monday Night Monsters. Whoa. That's like a that's like a deep dive into Finn MK lore that I wrote the soundtrack to that game. Finn versus Ryan's toy review boxing match. Oh, well, my odds are good on fighting a child to win, but again, probably not gonna fight people on streams. Yeah, that's a good point too, Bluestone. If you're gonna Bluestone, who suggests if you're gonna do multiple streams a week, it might be worth to make a Twitch channel since YouTube doesn't do a very good job with notifying subscribers. That's another factor where if I really want to give this a go, then it is. I have made a Twitch channel. It's all set up and everything. I just never streamed on it. But if I am going to start committing to 2 streams a week, then I probably will move all the streaming to Twitch. So keep a heads up for that. Any plans to get a new plant? Nope. You guys have got to stop this fixation with fighting children. This is some messed up stuff. Abonai Gaming asks a question not about fighting children, so I will answer it. I'm sure you've gotten this asked before, but do you have perfect pitch or just great music theory? I suppose it is the second. No, I do not have perfect pitch. All of the pitch stuff I figure out is through relative pitch, which I have that in good skill and good spades. It's a skill that I have worked at and continue to practice and apply regularly, um, because it's really important, for the way that I write music and especially the way I improvise. So just relative pitch. What's my KD ration? So I don't know if you mean KD ratio or my craft dinner ration, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with KD ratio, and I'm gonna say I gotta say 35-1. I'm riding pretty high KDR in this run. Is it possible to stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, or would that blow up your house? So actually, Streamlabs, if you buy the premium subscription, you can live stream to multiple sources. Is true. I probably wouldn't, unless I could figure out an easy way to keep track of all of the chats. Because if people are watching on two apps or two websites, I'm not going to be constantly switching back and forth between them to answer questions or to respond to chats. Like, it would all have to come into one chat, which I could maybe do by like putting a widget on screen or something. But I probably just wouldn't stream to multiple sources. It's going to be YouTube or Twitch. Sir, why are you stuck on the floor? Do you need help getting up? No, probably. I've been sitting down for an hour, so my legs are maybe shaky, but they're functional. So I see. So I'll be able to get right back up. Don't you worry about me, Caden. I got this on lock. Did I play trombone in school? It seems to be the only brass instrument you play. Do you play any other wind instruments? Not with any great degree of effectiveness. I can play very rudimentary stuff on the tuba and the trumpet and the baritone, the euphonium. Like, all of those brass instruments are functionally very similar. So I can get a decent pitch out of them, but I don't really know the theory behind any of them except the trombone. Um, Although, I mean, like, depending where, you know, I'm confident I could pick it up fairly quickly because I've played valve instruments before. I The embouchure would come back, but the trombone's the only one and even that I don't play with a great degree of confidence because I don't play it very often. I only really play trombone these days if I'm recording trombone. And there we are. Made it to the top of questions once more. And I don't need ye anymore. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for everyone who donated. This is it's always such a I feel very very thankful to receive these random donations from people. So thank you very much. It's almost like the gesture is more meaningful than the actual amount. Um, Although I'm not going to shy away about about accepting anything people will send me. Uh, so thank you very much. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for asking questions. And if you have more questions, then there is an Ask Finn channel in my Discord, or maybe you just need to keep them in your mind until the next stream. Although I rarely answer questions in late night piano, but who knows, if I'm starting up Monday streams, then that will be much more I think conducive to answering questions. Anyways, that is it for me. Have a great Wednesday, and I will see you guys for the stream on Friday. And there we are. Now I must heave myself up from the floor. I did it. It cost me everything, but I did it. Anyway, see you guys.